Breaking news. You are on the Stevens Playbook. I'm Michael.
I'm Matt. This is episode 16.
Episode 64. Today is Wednesday, and it is 11:40 at night. 10:40 at night.
Feels like 11:40.
Yeah. In an hour.
Yeah.
What you got for today?
Repetition.
Yep. Reps and sets.
Reps and sets. Every day is doing the same thing, but a little bit better.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Even though it doesn't feel like it sometimes.
Yep. Putting out fires all day at work, and then come home and destroy the gym, as one does. And then got my reading in, and that was the day.
Literally, he was just like, I don't like this gym anymore.
Yeah, it's gone. It was nice, but someone looked at me the wrong way or something. I didn't like the way that one broccoli head looking dude looked, so I was like, nope, it's over.
Sounds good.
Yeah. And then finally got to chapter 2 and didn't get my pages in the last 2 days, so put them in today. Read 30 pages. I don't know how long that was. It took me forever because I'm a slow reader, but we get to the end when we get there.
Yeah, I'm a slow reader too.
You're a what?
Super slow reader, yep.
That's me. My sister, on the other hand, she reads like 12 books per hour, so she reads pages faster than I can run, so it's wild. But yeah, some good takeaways from it. A lot of the things, though, they're kind of standard. If you put your mind in this world where you're absorbing information, learning as much as you can, but if you don't, or you're newer to doing that, is like kind of groundbreaking stuff that you probably never heard before, or maybe you heard it in a different way. But in any way, what's good, what we said before, reps and sets, is repetition will make it stick. So that's kind of a big focus in schools and schools of thought, just different ways to learn things. Repetition definitely helps. If you hear something once, you'll forget it, maybe, unless it really sticks to you. But yeah, there's some good stuff in here. The whole chapter was about desire, basically in terms of achievement. So it gave a 6 steps to accomplish any goal. So the first one, define what it is that you want to accomplish. Pretty self-explanatory. Define it, what it is, but not just like I want to make money, or I want to run faster, or I want to lift heavier. It has to be an exact amount. So, for example, the 10,000 pound club that I am embarking on, I'm already there. The first thing I have to do is define exactly what it is. So 10,000 pounds over the 3 lifts: squat, deadlift, bench press. So that's the exact amount. 2, determine what you're willing to give. So in my case, for this fitness, given trading up my whole routine. So I'm giving up the hypertrophy style workout that I've come to love. I'm giving up that time in the gym that I could be training towards different things, like running a marathon or anything else that I want to train for in there, because this is the single goal. Determine an exact date, which I guess I don't have, something I need to establish, but I do have an exact date of when I'll hit certain weights, but I don't know how to figure out exact date to hit this goal. But basically, if you read the chapter, you just need to pick a date. So look ahead. I guess I'll say like 6 months from now. So that's something that needs to be ironed out if I'm following these steps exactly. So determine an exact date, and then make a definite plan. and begin immediately. So I do have a definite plan. I've got my whole workout routine. I did a whole bunch of research, figured out what is a powerlifting routine that would focus solely on these things, and then stick to that plan. So it may change as I go through it, may develop, may figure out weaknesses that I've got in certain lifts that I need to accommodate. But what's important is that I have a plan and that I've started that plan. So I'm a week in already, and I determined the goal a week ago. It's on the podcast. You can go back a couple of days. But that's step 4. Step 5, write them all down. I got them all written down. It's on the board over there. We got a whiteboard. And then step 6, read them twice daily, morning and night, as far as that's what the book says. I don't really do that as part of like a routine, but I do find myself frequently reciting what the goal is, just like when I'm talking to people or over these videos that I'm making here on the podcast. So I'm reciting it pretty frequently, but those are the 6 steps that are in the book to achieve something. Do you have something you want to add on those 6 steps?
Yeah, I read this book a year ago, maybe over a year. And as basic as it might sound, sometimes just reading it and then actually implementing the steps has been the most life-changing thing for me personally. And so I literally took a piece of paper and I wrote down everything. I had my desired date. I put my desired date, what I'm willing to sacrifice, my plan to get there, and I've recited it every day, 3 times a day. And that's literally my habit. And so I have, it takes me about 15 minutes per time I do it to recite everything. Because as I read more books, I've incorporated more things into it as far as like the law of attraction goes. Instead of saying like, this is what I want, you say, this is what I have. And so it's like the small tweaking of the mind shift to say that it's not that I want, it's that I will have. I have it now, and I live in the presence of like I have it. And so, you know, I read this 3 times a day, and I can probably recite a lot of it, but I'll just do the fitness goal one because it's small compared to the other. And so the fitness goal I have is I have entered a bodybuilding show by mid-2025. I have sacrificed my free time, comfort foods, traveling, pride, nicotine, and mindless scrolling to achieve this. And then my plan is, it is my number 1 priority over anything else. I have followed the coach's routine to the T. I stay consistent in my cardio, macros, and workouts. I reflect on how to make things better every day. I document all data, both good and bad. I've done the research on how to fix my bones so I can stay healthy and strong. I always focus on living the ideal lifestyle and cut out unnecessary risks to include smoking. So I quit that. If you watch any of the other ones, you know I've been struggling. I have in mind that this is a set intention, and all that has to be done is to just do it. And
Nike.
So, yep. And so I have one for every aspect of my life, and I just repeat this, and it takes about 15 minutes. I do it once in the morning. I do it once like before I go to the gym, and then once before I go to sleep. And I make sure I get it done. But I feel like this has been one of the biggest mindset shifts that one can possibly do. It literally changes the way you think of everything. And even the goal of like, you know, making a certain amount of money that we've posted on here before on the earlier podcast, it all stems from that one concept of you set something, you said, what are you willing to sacrifice? What do you want? What are you willing to sacrifice? And then you write out a plan to get there. And if the plan doesn't work, you change the plan, not the goal. That's how it works. If you don't reach if the plan fails, change the plan, not the goal.
Yeah. One thing I've kind of lived by for the past, a couple of years. I think I got it from David Goggins when I was doing some training for something else at the time, but got it from David Goggins. Burn the boats. So there's actually historical meaning behind the quote. burning the boats. But what it means, or how it started, was there was general. He brought his forces onto a island or a new continent or something.
Actually, it's right here somewhere.
Well, I got the story. He got his forces onto the continent, and he was like, we're going to fight these people. But before he did that, he burned the boats behind him, told his troops, he was like, there is no going back. We win or we perish. There's two options.
However you say that name.
Hernan Cortez. Yeah, some Spanish conqueror. Either way, doesn't matter who did it, who said it. That was the story, and pretty impactful when you look at it in terms of like everything. So if you look at it, we'll use the bodybuilding show. You look at it and say, these are all the things I have to give up, and then just go for it. There's no turning back. That's not an option. It's already going to happen. You just have to make it happen. Like you said, just do it, Nike. So yeah, burn the boats, visualize, or persist, whatever you want to say.
Yeah, quit your job. Go live under a bridge. How
True.
bad do you want it?
Yeah, I mean,
okay, don't
whatever's
actually
in
do
the
that.
way. Well, you can.
Whatever's more effective is good too.
Just have a plan for it.
Yeah, have a good plan.
That's part of it. It says create definite plan and begin immediately. So don't just go quit and say, oh yeah, now I'm going to figure it out. Or do, whatever you say. It's in your head. That's all you got to know. Talks about visualization and faith. I did like this quote. It's a poem. It's I worked for a menial's hire, only to learn, dismayed, that any wage I had asked of life would have willingly paid. Pretty good. Basically, it's saying like set high goals, set high expectations. If you ask life for $10, life's going to give you $10. If you ask it for $1,000, it'll give you $1,000. As long as you follow the steps to make it happen, and you believe, you have faith that it's going to happen, you can visualize ahead and see yourself like achieving this. So yeah, it's all parts of a whole. But yeah, you have to believe that you're a person worthy of achieving it. So that goes along with what I was reading before with Russ's book of doing that.
Delusional, being consistent,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
persistent.
Yeah. Just got to know that like failures don't mean defeat. You can lose a battle, still win the war. At the end of the day, it's persistence that matters. So whenever you give up is when it's over. Until then, it's still going. You got to stay optimistic. Handicaps are converted into stepping stones that you can walk across to that goal unless they are accepted as obstacles and used as alibis. So if you have something in your way, something you feel like, oh, woe is me, my parents loved me too much, or whatever it is, I was born into a family, or I have no parents, either way. Whatever it is, whether you were born into a nice family or born with no family, it's not an alibi and an obstacle. It's just life, the stepping stones to get to where you want to go. So keep an optimistic mind and know that what you're facing right now, that's reality, and you just got to live with it. Just got to keep rolling. Let life keep hitting you. But yeah.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Story ended with a guy in a hospital. He was talking about his doctor dude was like, yep, he's probably not going to live. It's kind of over for him. And before he went in there, the patient on the bed, before he went into surgery, looked at his friend and he said, don't worry about it. I'll get through this. And he did. And the doctor said, nothing but his own will to live saved him. Meaning, like, it wasn't because of what the doctor did. It was because he refused to die. And that's what you have to do on your dreams. You have to refuse to die. Refuse to let them die. Make it happen. Shia LaBeouf. Make your dreams come true. Yesterday you said tomorrow. So just do it. Right? Mm-hmm. Right. Anyways, this has been the Stevens Playbook.
Sounds good.